Welcome everyone. Today we are exploring the pre-Socratic philosophers, ancient Greek thinkers who lived before Socrates and shaped Western philosophy and science. They were the first to use reason and observation to ask big questions about reality, the universe, and our place in it, moving away from myth and superstition. In this lesson, we will uncover their key ideas, their break from tradition, and their lasting impact. Western philosophy begins with the pre-Socratics. These pioneers shifted from mythological tales to rational inquiry, asking things like, what is the universe made of? Or, is change real? Their bold questions launched a new way of thinking, setting the foundation of philosophy and science. Today, we will meet key figures like Thales, Heraclitus, Parmenides, and Democritus, and dive into their revolutionary ideas. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to define terms like arche, logos, being, and void. You will grasp the core ideas of major pre-Socratic thinkers and recognize how they broke from the mythology to embrace reason. Plus, you will see their influence on rational inquiry, which still echoes in modern thought. Let's start with the historical backdrop. The pre-Socratics emerged in ancient Greece around the 6th and the 5th century before Common Era. This was the time when myths about gods explaining storms or seasons were losing ground. Instead, these thinkers sought natural causes for what they observed, marking a turning point. Their work laid the roots for both philosophy and scientific thought. Why focus on the pre-Socratics? They pioneered natural explanation over supernatural ones, shifting from mythos to logos, myth to reason. This leap sparked fields like science, metaphysics, and ethics. They also built the intellectual base for giants like Plato and Aristotle, making them essential to understand the history of thought. First up is Thales of Miletus, often called the first philosopher. He claimed water was the arche, the fundamental substance of everything. This was a bold move away from myths toward nature-based answers. Thales also shone as a geometer and astronomer, predicting a solar eclipse and measuring pyramids with shadows. Thales earned the title of the first philosopher-scientist. His idea that all is water reflects his search of a unifying substance. Beyond theory, he applied reason practically. Think eclipse predictions and engineering feats. This blend of thought and observation birthed natural philosophy, a major shift from mythological storytelling. Next, Heraclitus of Ephesus saw fire as the arche, symbolizing constant change. His phrase, everything flows, or pantaria, highlights a word of influx. He introduced logos, a rational order behind it all, and stressed the unity of opposites, like day and night, saying, you cannot step into the same river twice. For Heraclitus, fire was not just an element, it stood for relentless transformation. Yet, the logos, a cosmic law, keeps this chaos in harmony through opposing forces. He said, war is the father of all things, suggesting conflict drives existence. It's a dynamic view of reality, balancing changes and order. Parmenides of Elea flips the script. He argues true reality, or being, is eternal and unchanging. Change is just an illusion. Our senses trick us, he said. Only reason reveals truth. Non-being cannot exist, he reasoned, so what is must stay as it is. A stark contrast to Heraclitus. Parmenides, the philosopher of being, prized logic over senses. What is, he declared, simple, absolute, unchanging. His radical ideas influenced Plato and others. His student Zeno backed him up with paradoxes, like those questioning motion, showing how deceptive our perception can be. Democritus, dubbed the laughing philosopher, brought us atomism, He said the universe is just atoms, tiny and divisible bits, and void, or empty space. No gods, no magic, just mechanical interactions. He tied this to ethics, suggesting understanding nature brings peace by banishing fear and superstition. Democritus' atomism was groundbreaking. He said, by convention sweet, bitter, hot, cold, in reality, only atoms and void. He argued that sensations are just atom movements. This rational lens aimed for tranquility. His ideas even hint at modern quantum theory. So let's compare them. Thales picked water, seeking natural unity. Heraclitus chose fire, embracing flux with everything flows. Parmenides insists on unchanging being, dismissing change. Democritus went with atoms and void, a mechanical view. Each tackled reality's essence in their own way. Those thinkers clashed. Heraclitus saw flux, Parmenides permanence. Thales sought one substance, Democritus many atoms. These tensions fueled later. Plato chased eternal truths beyond appearances, while Aristotle blended change and stability, building on these earlier debates to shape philosophy. As we have seen, the pre-Socratics were pioneers in using reason and observation to explore the fundamental questions of existence. Their bold inquiries into the nature of reality, the concept of change, and the search of underlying principles not only distinguished them from the mythological predecessors, but also laid the essential groundwork for the future of philosophical thought. This brings us to a pivotal transition in the history of philosophy. The pre-Socratics' revolutionary approach directly influenced the next generation of thinkers, known as the Greek classical philosophers. Figures like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle would build on the foundations established by the pre-Socratics, further developing and refining their ideas. In doing so, they transformed philosophy into a comprehensive discipline that continues to shape our understanding of the world. In conclusion, the pre-Socratic philosophers' legacy is both profound and far-reaching. Their decisive shift from mythological explanation to rational inquiry not only gave birth to philosophy and science, but also set the course to Western intellectual tradition. Their exploration into the fundamental nature of reality, the primacy of reason, and the relentless quest for knowledge continue to resonate in modern thought, influencing fields as diverse as physics, metaphysics, and ethics. As we look ahead, our next session will focus on the Greek classical philosophers, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. We will explore how these towering figures were profoundly shaped by the ideas of the pre-Socratics. For instance, Socrates' method of dialectic questioning echoes pre-Socratics' emphasis on rational discourse. Plato's theory of forms can be seen as a response to Parmenides' concept of being, while Aristotle's systematic approach to knowledge builds upon the empirical observation of thinkers like Democritus. By tracing this intellectual lineage, we can better appreciate the continuity and evolution of philosophical thought and its enduring impact on our world. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to continue this journey with you in our next session.